Please welcome Henry Winkler and Kevin James.
Hi, everybody.
So I'm going to start with you, Kevin, because you co-wrote this film. We all laughed, we cried, it had a lot of great messages. So how did you come up with what this movie was going to be?
You know, I've been a fan of the mixed martial arts for a while, since its the beginning. In 1993, I saw the first UFC, and it was crazy to me. It was brutal, it was nuts, and I got intrigued by it. But what really inspired me was when I got to meet a lot of these fighters over the years and find out that they're just regular guys. They're the greatest guys I've met. You know, you think that these just gladiators in an octagon that just are, you know, mean all the time, and they're not. They're family men. They're, you know, and you find they're fighting to put food on the table for their kids, and they're just great people, and they know each other in the community. They're just like everybody else. They just have such a crazy, unique job that I would never want to do. But I definitely respect them for what they did, and the amount of sacrifice they put into what they do, and the fact that they would, you know, lay down their life physically for, you know, the cause that they're fighting for. And it just inspired me. And on the flip side of it, I just had some great, you know, teachers in my life that really inspired me to this day. Yeah. It's true, and it's. You know, I named a couple in the movie after them, and a couple characters, and you know, they just taught me great principles about being a good person, and inspired me and helped me, you know, be positive about things. And they don't even maybe realize how much it affects me, but I follow their principles to this day. It's 30 years later, you know, so it's not like when school ends, the teacher, your relationship ends, and you know, they really mold you when the cement is drying, and then that's when it happens that, you know, you can, and by the way, on the flip side, you can be molded in a bad way by a bad teacher. So it's like, to be inspiring, they've got an opportunity, and I think the great teachers need to be saluted, you know, for sure, and that's what I tried to do in combining that.
The Fonz, come on!
Yes.
We can't have it,
Right,
right?
give me some love.
Oh my God, sweating. Okay, okay, sorry. So, on the heels of that and these messages and heroes, I'd like to know, who are some of your heroes and who has inspired you in your life?
I was inspired mostly by people that I saw who needed to do what they did. People who were authentic. People who were passionate about what they did. You know, but I want to just answer the question that you asked also before. Where did this come from in Kevin? You know, Kevin, this big boy.
Yeah, very big, by the way. The movie shot a year and a half ago, and I've just gone crazy since then. I'm worried about these chairs holding me right now. I'm worried about a lot of things. There might be sweat coming out of me. I love you guys, but I love food more. I apologize.
This one just broke.
I know, they're big. So if someone's going down, take a guess which one it is.
This big boy moves like a panther. I want to tell you. So Kevin is not only the co-writer and the star, but he also is a producer of the film. And we would shoot the fights, and we shot them over several weeks, and every move was choreographed, and so every move was a shot. And then Kevin would be thrown around that ring, as you saw, and then he would get up, he would go over to the monitor, he would check to see if he okayed the take. He'd get back in the ring. He'd be thrown around like a rag doll. He would get up. This was, we'd start at 7 in the morning. We shot some scenes at 4 in the morning. All, no matter what, the man inspired us all. No matter what your complaint was, you had no complaints because you watched Kevin day after day come and meet his challenge. It was amazing, and I'm really glad I got to say that in public.
Aww. Hi, I'm a music teacher, and what was it like working with the kids? Did you get to know them?
I did. I got to know them all. They were, first of all, really good musicians. They had really beaten up instruments. And at the end of the film, when we do the piece beautifully, and you see them playing all those new instruments, Kevin and Todd Garner, his producing partner, they were in the room and they told the kids they can keep those new instruments. They gave them a full orchestra of instruments at the end of the filming. It was really wonderful because I had to be instantly connected with them, you know, so we joked a lot together and off camera.
On so many different areas, the film was amazing. It made me laugh, it made me cry, it did inspire me, and it reflected on what's going on across public schools across the United States. Can I just say, from a personal perspective, do you think it's right that so many schools are having these budget cuts and not everybody have the resources in every neighborhood to do what you did?
Right.
So it's just from a personal perspective, I'm not asking you for a political opinion, but just as a dad raising children in the United States, what's your opinion?
It crushes me that some kids will not have an opportunity to do this. Look, I never played musical instruments growing up, but I had friends who did. And like Henry was saying, you see how music affects people in so many ways that in the movie they learn to study by it. And anybody here knows that you hear like a few bars of any song, it can instantly take you back to a time in your life where whatever it may be, and it's so specific. In this movie, it drives the fighters to inspire them or intimidate the others. You know, I mean, it's such a great, to deny kids of that. You know, it's the same thing with the whole inspiration thing. You don't realize the ripple effect it'll have if someone's not exposed to this, if a kid is not exposed. So it's not just on the surface of, oh, they just won't get to play violin. That's it. That's not a big deal. And that's the way people see it. But that's not true. You know, it's the whole culture, it's the whole thing, how it expands and how it can affect everybody around in ways that you can't even see. So, yeah, I mean, the opportunity when kids don't get it, it's crushing. And I think everybody deserves it.
For the Fonz, Kevin, what did you learn being so close to Henry and working with him that some of us who have loved him over the years, what secrets did he tell you?
Well, first of all, you know, and everybody hits him up with the Fonz stuff, and I said, I'm not going to do that. And the first thing out of my mouth was, what was it like being the Fonz? When did you switch color leather jackets? I remember you had a brown one for a while, then you went black. Did you really ride that motorcycle? What's Hanson Williams? What's Potsy really like? Is he a good dude, honestly? Could you take him in a fight? Could you take Potsy in a real fight? I went day in and day out, and he's the greatest. He answers. You know, you can tell someone's a great individual. It's not, you know, it's not when the cameras are on them, but you see how they're acting with the, you know, when people aren't necessarily watching them. And that's the one thing I've noticed about Henry is, you know, it doesn't matter whether cameras are rolling or not. I saw him talk to every extra, every day, talking to people in the crowd, and it is the real deal. And I tell him every time I see him, and he's nice to people, it almost ticks me off because it's like, you keep raising the bar, you idiot. You keep making me have to be nice. You know, it's like, it's so frustrating because, you know, when Henry's around, but he changes everybody around. You talk to one person who thinks Henry's, you know, a bad guy, you can't find it. It's incredible and it's infectious, and that's what I love about him, you know.
Before we walk out for the last fight, and I'm sitting in the corner on the stool watching him, the money has been embezzled. Two things about that scene. One is Kevin came up to me and he said, you know, I'm so sorry. I know we're doing it over and over again. You're just sitting there. But this is the scene I've been waiting for. This is my Rocky. And it was so touching because he meant it with every fiber of his being. And then we talked about the idea that the money had been embezzled. And I ad-libbed a line and I looked at Kevin and I said, I hate him. Meaning the assistant principal who stole the money. And Kevin said to me, would you do me a favor? Would you not say the word hate? And I started to argue with him and I said, but it's really an emotional moment. It's a very big moment here. We found out the money is gone. He said, I don't want hate in this movie. And Kevin had a vision from soup to nuts. And I believe that he completely captured his vision in this movie. Here Comes the Boom.
Yeah.